Hey folks, doing another unboxing video here of another game that I got in the mail over the past couple weeks. This is the new version of Clank, Clank Catacombs. It is now done by Direwolf Games. They have the rights to Clank, and it is no longer with, I can't remember who had the rights to it before. It's slipping my mind right now. But anyways, it's with Direwolf. Is the name of the company that is going to be producing Clank from now on. Renegade, that was the game. Renegade Games no longer has the rights, or they sold the rights, or I don't know. I don't know what happened there in that situation, but Direwolf is now in control of it. And this is the new Clank Catacombs. This is a modular building, so you don't have a static map that you will traverse. You kind of figure out the dungeon as you go. So let's go ahead and dive in. Did actually do a playthrough of this, so I will give my thoughts on that after we go through this. You have a nice little token guide here that goes over all the new things. So there's prisoners in this game, and then you have your major secrets, just like in the previous ones, your minor secrets, your market items, and your monkey idols. Some of the market items are similar, and then some of them are new. So it kind of goes over and gives you a little reference there of everything. You're going to see this dark box here that has the Clank logo in it throughout the rule book. If you see this means that there's new rules on this page that you need to pay attention to. So if you've played the previous games, you don't necessarily have to read through the rule book, but there are some sections you're going to want to hit, or some pages you're going to want to review that have this box. So they indicate that those are new rules that you need to pay attention to. We have the rule book here. Pretty standard rule book. Like I said, there's that box. It tells you that, hey, if you see this box, read this page, the setup and everything. It goes over all the rules, how to do everything, how to place tiles, all the different features, any kind of changes. They do reference like, hey, in the previous game this happened, but now it does this. There's not really a ton that has changed. It's mainly just the new board. There's some new things, new features on the tiles to interact with, and so forth and so on. There's also rules here for playing with 5 to 6 players. You do need one of the adventuring party expansions, though, in order to make use of that. That might be interesting. I don't know how well that's going to go with 5 or 6 players. It seems like it's going to be very hectic. Excuse me, and it might be a little more cutthroat than normal. Not that Clank is really that cutthroat, but you can still steal things from players in this game, or in any Clank. So this seems like this would be just put a bunch more players on the board and have a lot more of that competition. So if you like that type of thing, you might want to try it. It's also probably going to make the game longer because obviously more players, more decision making in terms of what cards to buy or where to spend your experience points, and so forth and so on. So it's, I don't know if I'll try 5 or 6. We'll see. But that's, rule book's pretty standard. It's pretty short, but it is, if you know how to play Clank, you're going to know 90% of the stuff that's in here. But you are going to have to check out some things in here before you play your first game. Then you have the board here that tracks your life, just like in the previous games, and the dragon track here, which is very similar to the previous games. And now we get into all the little bits and bobs. I did shell out for these sleeves, so it came with 2 packs of 100 pack sleeves, so I have 200 sleeves, and I probably have like maybe 20 to 25 left. Probably just enough to sleeve, probably just enough to sleeve the adventuring party cards for the 5th and 6th players, I would imagine. You have your cubes for the players. So you have red, yellow, green, and blue. You have your dragon marker. It's a nice pale teal color, I guess you could say. Matches the bag, the dragon bag, with the black dragon cubes in there. You do have these white cubes, which are ghost cubes. That's a new set of rules for this game for Clank, but it does build off of some of the stuff in Clank Legacy. So if you're familiar with Clank Legacy, then you will be very familiar with how those white cubes work. You have your market tile, of course, as normal. You have a bag of all kinds of money. And then you have a bag of all the other cardboard pieces. The game just comes with these two bags, and I have not gotten around to getting separate bags. But this is your minor secrets, your artifacts, your major secrets. There's lockpicks in here. There are all the prisoners are in here. Your what are those tokens called? The tokens you get, the 20 points tokens you get if you make it back out alive with an artifact. The I forget what those tokens are called, but those are in there. So these are just all the other tokens that would you would interact with. Then we have all of so we have over here is the dungeon deck. Here are the player card decks, and then here is the Goblin and the Mercenary and Explorer and the Sacred Tome or whatever they're called. So you can see, I mean, they're pretty much the standard Clank cards. They're all, I don't remember seeing duplicates in here from the other games, but there might be. It's been a long time since I played the original Clanks. But there's that whole dungeon deck with the monsters. The monsters are definitely haven't shown up before because they're all kind of skeletal themed, which is kind of fun. It's more themed than just the other game just kind of had random monsters in it. But then you have these tiles here. So you have your starting tile, which is a double tile, and it is double-sided, so you can pick a side. That's green on one side, red on the other. I'm sure one is recommended to start, but I don't know which one it is. Then you have all of your dungeon tiles. So there's two sets. You have your light purple and you have your blue, your darker blue. Let's go look at the light purple here first. So you can see you flip over a tile and they're gonna go together, right? You're gonna orient it however you want. But it does have to be, full side connecting to another side. You can't put one catty corner like that or anything like that. You do have to be, so if I'm in this room and I'm moving off to the side over here, I do have to make sure that I can complete that path, right? So I can go straight over there. Well, of course it's not gonna, let's say I was down here in this room and I'm coming over here. There is a monster here, right? But I'm in here in this room and I'm going to go over here. If I don't have a lockpick to get through that lock on the second tile, I cannot place that tile like that. I would have to place it like that, or like that, or like that. The light purple tiles, there's only 6 of them, and you're going to take 2 out at random at the start of the game, so you're only going to have 4 light purple tiles. These are the above ground, like above the depths. So if you die or get knocked out up here, you still count your points. The dark blue tiles are the depths, and they are, this is going to bother me, they're not all facing the right way. Who did that? I gotta fix that before going any further, because my CDO will bother me until I do. Alright, now they're all the same way. New features, Wayfarer Shrines, portals, ghost tiles. These will add in the white cubes, the haunted tiles. These tiles, the dark blue tiles, are all tiles that are in the depths. So if you die in these tiles, you don't count points. So those are the tiles. There's a decent amount of them. So let's just get all this stuff set back in here. And then I'll kind of talk about my thoughts on the game. We did play a 4-player game. And everything does fit fairly neatly back in here. So, that is unboxing there for Clank Catacombs. Now, like I said, we did play a 4-player game. This game plays 2 to 4. We had two players that were veterans at the game, me and my brother. And then my other brother, who had never played it before, so he's completely new. And then my brother's son, who I think may have played it once long ago, but he doesn't remember. So it was basically 2 new players and 2 veteran players. I won the game by about 10 points. My brother's son came in second. My brother, who had never played the game before, came in third, 1 point behind my brother's son. And then the veteran brother who played, who was supposedly real good at the game, came in last. I enjoyed this game more than the original. The cards in this game, it is a lot easier, in my opinion, to deal with Clank in this game. There are a lot more cards that will minus Clank out or allow you to remove the Clank out of the Clank area, or allow you to heal. There are a lot more things that I saw that allowed you to manage your health and manage how much Clank you have in the Clank area than in the previous version of the game, which I liked. I really liked that a lot. Now, you do have to get those cards, so but it just seemed like there were more of them, which I guess kind of makes sense because the board, you don't, with the original game, you had your static board and you could you can kind of like make your path. Okay, I'm going to go over there and try to get that artifact, and then get your cards to do that. In this game, you're pulling the tiles at random, so you don't know when you're going to run into a artifact. It may be the light purple tiles obviously don't have artifacts on them, but the dark blue tiles are the ones that can possibly contain an artifact. But I mean, it could be the first blue tile. It could be 3/4 through the stack before you get to an artifact tile. It allows you. You can't really have a path in a way. Okay, I'm going to go this way, or I'm going to do this. You just kind of playing your cards by the seat of your pants, hoping you run into a artifact, and then okay, now I have an artifact. Do I have enough time to go get a backpack and try to get a second one, or do I just need to start heading out? I like the way they did the lockpicks. So you have lockpicks, they're tokens, and instead of having to have a set of keys like in the original game to get through the locked passages, you just put you spend a lockpick token and it goes out on the board, covers the lock symbol for that passage, and then now you and any other player can go through that passage. So I like that idea. You're having to spend something lockpicks are precious resources. You're having to spend a precious resource that's going to benefit you immediately, but may also benefit other people. So it's you really got to think about it. You also spend your lockpicks to unlock chests, to get major secrets. You can use them in a library to get a free secret tome. That's the 7 victory point card. Or you can use them in a prison to rescue 2 prisoners. And those are tokens that you flip over at random, and then you get what they are. They're very powerful. They're worth points. Not only are they worth victory points, most of them also have a special ability, like something else you get for doing that. There are also cards in the game that will allow you to rescue, like when you acquire them, you free a prisoner, that type of thing. So the prisoners, I would recommend going after the prisoners. They were very beneficial. They gave me a bunch of points. There's a bunch of cards that say, hey, like you get 5 victory points if you've freed 3 or more prisoners, in the game. So you're going to want to start getting those prisoners. One of the prisoners I got was actually a 5 gold discount at the market, so it only cost me 2 gold to buy something in the market. That was huge. That was great for me. The portals allow you to you can portal from one portal to any other portal, so you can move around the map pretty easily. I'm trying to think of the other differences in the game from the original. Oh, so the artifacts are basically stacked face up, lowest value on top, highest on the bottom. And so like the first tile that comes over, you just pick the artifact off the top, and it goes into that spot. Some of the tiles have like the artifact outline, and then they'll have a plus symbol. If it has a plus symbol, then you go 1 artifact below the one on the top. And if it has 2 plus symbols, you go 2 artifacts below the one on the top and get that artifact and put it there. So it's not always every single artifact in descending order, or in ascending order rather. It can be, you can skip some artifacts. So there is some luck with the tiles. There is a mechanic in the game that I'm not sure. So there is I think it's a enemy that comes out that forces you to rotate. Like if you're on a tile by yourself, it will force you, if that enemy comes out, their arrive condition is that you rotate your tile. If you're alone on a tile, you have to rotate your tile to a new orientation. That was pretty much us. Like I think that came out twice, maybe 3 times, and all of us were always alone on tiles. So we were forced to rotate it, and it does screw things up. Because once you get a good chunk of the board made or discovered, you kind of have an idea of a path you want to. Okay, I'm going to go over here. I've got my artifact. Now I'm going to go over here to the market, and then I'm going to try to get back over here to the entrance. Well, now you've got something that you're going to rotate a tile, and now you can't do what you were going to do. So it really throws a monkey wrench in there. I don't know how I feel about it yet, but it could be interesting. But it definitely, if it's coming down towards the end of the game and that one of those enemies comes out and you're scrambling to get into the light purple so you can at least score points, and that enemy comes out, that could lose you the game, pretty much. So that was our experience with Clank Catacombs. I did enjoy it. I do like it more than the original, or the various expansions with it. I don't know if I'd really compare it to the Clank in Space. I know that does have a modular board and you kind of build it randomly at the start of the game, but this is the way you build a board here is just an entirely new aspect. It's definitely fun. Like, ooh, what tile am I going to get? And you flip it over. Oh, it's a ghost tile. Now another white cube goes in the back. So I think everybody enjoyed it for the most part. But that is Clank Catacombs. We'll probably play it at some point, and I'll try to just do a stream of it or record a video of it. You can't really solo this. I don't even know. It's 2 to 4. There's no solo rules for it officially. There might be on BGG, but yeah, it's not really a game. Oh no, that's right. The the app, you can play solo in the app. I think the app plays the second player for you. Although I don't know if this is in the app yet, but the original Clank, I believe you could play solo from using the app. But anyways, that is Clank Catacombs. Thanks for watching, guys.